Hey guys.
Hey Melanie, how's it going?
Good.
See, everyone's just trickling in. After work, we're getting slow now.
I know, I literally just walked in the door from work. Made it just in time.
Hey Sarah.
Hello.
There you are.
Here I are. There's my art. Here I are. Hello, everyone.
Hi Diego.
Hi. Hi, Didia, Melanie, Joe, Armida, and Diego.
Hi.
Hello. Beautiful sky. Okay. Oh, okay, it's 6 o'clock. Anybody in the waiting room?
No, right now we just got the public. We have eight members now.
How many do we have now?
9, 10, we have 11.
Hiya.
Oh, it's Diana. Hey. 11.
Hi Steve, hi Deanna.
Steve.
Guess what?
What's up?
Okay, so this isn't much like this. Okay, so technically this is a personal announcement, but like, I mean, who cares? Okay, so I won a national award called Questbridge National Merit Finalist.
Woohoo!
Thank you. I now I have a
Awesome. Congratulations.
thank you. I
That's
have a chance for a full
amazing.
ride.
Hell
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
It's Richardson on the east side.
I moved him to panelists. He should have gotten prompted.
Okay.
I'll do it again, promoting the panelists.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, and you guys here, Amita, Richard, Bernie.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Richard. Okay, so we're 14. So Richard, were you, or Richard Ortiz, were you saying that you were going to be leaving early?
Yeah, I'm going to be leaving early, but I'm going to try to push it as far as I can.
Okay, this meeting should not be long.
Okay, happy evening.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14. We have 14, so Vince, is it recording?
We're ready to go.
This meeting is called to order. Tap, tap. Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's edition of Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council General Board and Stakeholder Meeting. The date is October 21st, 2021. It is 6. What is the exact time?
6:04.
6:04 p.m. I'm Sarah Clendenning, the president, joined with the EVG protocol people. That is Vince Montalvo, the man behind the wheels of steel, the EVG Zoom coordinator guy. And then we have, is Fernie here?
No, it's not
Okay, so
yet.
I guess Vince will also be playing the dual moderator. And then me as the director. With that, we'll do roll call. I guess I'll do roll call. My little roll call sheet here. Clendenning, present. Wadsworth,
Present.
okay. Sanchez, absent. Montalvo,
Present.
Soto. Nancy? Okay, absent. Morrison. Absent. Madera. You see Benny?
Here.
Okay, Benny's present. Didia DeLizer.
Present.
Okay. Joanna. Okay, absent. Richard Larson.
Present.
Okay, Annalee Har. Absent. She has phone issues. Melanie Bolomo-Shiplet.
Here.
Okay, present. Vicente Gonzalez Reyes. Absent. Armida Marufo.
Here.
Present. Victor Azevedo.
Here.
Diego Zapata.
Here.
Yeah. Gil Aravallo.
Here.
Richard Ortiz.
Present.
Okay. Steve Lucero.
Here.
Elena Ruiz. Okay. Selena Ortega.
Present.
Cool. And then Diana Tran.
Hi.
Yay. Okay, present. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 present. Now. Okay.
Correct.
Yay. 15 present. Let me go proceed. Okay, so items 3, 4, and 5, we have to table to the next meeting. Item 6, non-agenda public comments, 2 minutes per person. This is public comments. Anybody from the public who would like to comment or has a comment, please raise your hand or press *9, and you have 2 minutes.
I don't see any.
No little hands, huh? All right, so we will move on to item number 6, item number 7, community and board announcements, 2 minutes per person. press *9. If you're somebody from the public who wants to make a board announcement, first we'll start with them. Press *9 or raise your hand with a community announcement. Public.
I don't have anybody in the public with their hand up.
Any board members have any community announcements?
Melanie?
Hey, Mel?
I got an email from a Area 2 resident asking questions about the program that the city is trying to like build potential unhoused housing on private property, and they had some questions that I wasn't sure how to answer, and I didn't know if anyone on our current board has any information about that. If not, I'm just going to email Mr. Rodriguez directly, but I just wanted to see if anyone knew any more about that program.
There's a flyer for that on our website. I don't know
Yeah.
how old it is.
It's that the flyer is what she sent and then was like, can I get some more clarification on some of these items? And I was like, I wish I knew, but I'll ask at the meeting tonight, and then I'll email Rodriguez for more info. So that's fine. I figured, I thought I would just ask just in case someone seemed to know the process and more specifics, but I'll just get back to them.
It could be quite old, that flyer. Meaning years, but we'll have to look that up. Yeah, we'll get back to them. Any other board member announcements?
I don't see anybody else's hand up.
Okay.
1 second. We got Benny.
Okay, Benny, announcement?
Well, yeah, just that the Kenny Washington Memorial Game is happening tomorrow for those that want to come by. Kenny Washington was an alumni of Lincoln High School who broke the color barrier in the modern NFL. So if you are going to be going to the game, you should probably go early because there's a big crowd anticipated. And by the way, well, yeah, I'll just stop there.
Does it cost money, Benny? Or how much is it?
Yeah, it's about, I believe it's $8, $8 to $10.
Would you purchase the tickets on a website or?
No, it would be in person.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it. Thank you.
Thank you, Benny. Any other announcements?
I see no more hands up for board member announcements.
Okay, let me just check and see if I have any announcements here. No. Okay. Okay, so we'll keep going here. Committee announcements. So we're going to do the rundown with our committee announcements. Executive committee, do we have any announcements?
No, we don't.
Okay. Parade committee. Is the parade committee here? No? All right.
No.
The parade committee is here. We have no announcements.
No announcements. Okay. Programs and services committee.
Good evening. Just want to let you know that I want to have everybody, all the area and at-large members, reach out to their neighborhoods to see if they have any issues regarding street repair, sidewalk repair, your lights are out, you have some things to be, large bulk items to be picked up, anything of that nature, and go out there and see what you can gather. We're going to have a regular meeting, which is the second Thursday of the month, which will be November the 11th. If you can all get out to your neighborhoods and canvass them and come up with something and get it to one of the board members, committee members of the program, so that we could start to get to work on some of these things in the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Gil. All right.
Sarah Mel has her hand up.
Oh, who does?
Yeah, me, sorry. Is that
Oh,
okay?
uh-huh.
Gil, thanks. I was out talking to neighbors all this week about some DTSC stuff, but I had quite a few neighbors reach out to me and ask about getting a stop sign placed at a certain area in Area 2. Is that something that we would bring to your committee as well?
Absolutely. Yes, it is.
Thanks.
Street racing, speeding up and down, anything of that nature that we can address that affects the community.
All right. Thank you. Now we'll move on to outreach and events committee. Anybody from outreach and events? That will be Annalee and Nancy. Over here? No?
Not here.
Okay, bylaws committee, that would be Wads.
We'll be planning the meeting before too long.
All right, thank you, Ben.
Nancy's coming in right now. I don't know if she has a report, but just for the record, Nancy's coming in at 6:13.
Okay, Nancy's coming in at 6:13. 6:13, all right. Nancy, are you in? We'll bounce back to Nancy.
No, I'm here.
Oh, and Nancy, are there any outreach and events committee announcements?
Yes, actually, I do have one. Thank you, Sarah.
Mhm.
So this is for the trick or treat experience at Heritage Square. It's organized by event producer by the name of Midsummer Scream. So we reached out with concerns of the prices for this event, which are quite high. They're $25 for daytime and $30 for nighttime. But they were generous enough to offer a Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council discount of $13.50. Sorry, so
Total is $13.50?
the discount is $13.50. And so if anyone's interested, you can purchase tickets online at cemeterylane.com, and your discount code is LHNC 10, so Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council 10, for $13.50 off all day October 28th.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Nancy.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Into that. And then did you have any other announcements?
No, oh, sorry, yes. For those that don't have access to internet, you can purchase tickets at the door with your same code, and that's for $10 off, if tickets are still available.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. What did we bounce? Oh, government liaison committee. Selena.
Hi, I had one question because I know I had inquired earlier in the month about where we can print flyers. I wanted to know if there was an update with that. And our next meeting is gonna take place November 8th at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Selena.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we could take this to Vince and Ben. So we do have a printer at the old office, but we still have to inventory and relocate those things, right?
Yeah, and I think the printer, we got to check to see if they're not outdated. A lot of the printers get outdated after 2 years, which is a tragedy, right?
Yeah.
And I think maybe we might need to invest in one because I think each of the districts should have access to it. I'll look into that because I know it's an office expense, and I'll look into seeing which one we can get and get some supplies like extra ink and paper.
Yeah, I mean, Selena, I can print them. If they're not color, I can crank them out. But
Okay, yeah, because then that would like impact whether flyering would take place or not, you know?
yeah, I mean, we've mainly been operating on our own fumes of resources the whole time. We're kind of waiting for we have to wait for Dunn to take inventory of our office that we previously had so that we can help what we have.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I guess you can bounce off of Vince as far as with budgetary concerns with paper or whatever with a plan. Let's see.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. LGBT Alliance Liaison.
Hello. So there are no updates because we haven't met yet. We only meet about once a month. So next week, I think, wait 1 second, let me check my calendar. Actually, this weekend should be the next meeting. So our next meeting, I should have an update. Sorry.
All right, thank you, Diana. Okay, so ARC Liaison, Alliance of River Communities.
We just recently had our meeting last Tuesday, where we were discussing again the air monitors and setting up a program in which we can take to neighborhood councils so that if they were interested in purchasing their air monitors, to start creating a database of air quality before any type of development would get in there, so that we have a base information of particulates. We're also going to take on the Paseo del Rio project and their environmental issues with BTSC, and also the Los Angeles river water quality. So we got a lot on our plate at ARC right now.
Right, cool. Thank you, Vince. Let's see. Okay, so Sustainability Committee.
And Sustainability Committee, Mia and Diego, I'm chair, Diego's co-chair. We're currently getting the agenda ready, and we have a date in which we're gonna prepare. So if any board member or anybody in the public has an item that they would like to see on the agenda, we're going to be setting up a protocol for that, which would be pretty simple. But you can either send it to me or Diego. And my email is Vincent m.lhnc@gmail.com. And you can find all our emails, mine and Diego's, on Empower LA's website on our profile page. So, but if you have anybody else's email, just reach out to anybody, and then they'll reach out to us, and we'll get you connected with us.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so Budget Committee. I don't know. I just put them on there. Budget Committee. Any announcements?
But as a treasurer, I'm a chair of the Budget Committee, but we haven't met yet. We will be doing. We normally don't meet as often as our other committees, but we will be putting something together so we can start looking at some other options and what's happening with COVID, because as Sarah mentioned, they're probably going to extend these closures, so we need to start. We thought we were going to have open sessions when we can go out and meet with the public again and have public events. So we might have to have a COVID budget where everything we're doing is probably might go out through MPGs, or we can restructure ourselves with materials we need.
Yeah. All right. Before we get to the next one, yeah, I saw Pluck's not on here, Planning and Land Use Committee. We have a meeting coming up. In the works, a lot of items. If you would like to participate in the Pluck Committee, yeah, I'm the chair. It's sarah.lhnc@protonmail.com, and then the vice chair is Benny Madera. Benny, what's your email?
It is benny.lhnc@gmail.com.
Yeah. All right, and then, yeah, we'll get you in the mix. I also want to announce, I guess I missed this with the executive committee announcement, that I received an email from Dunn saying they're considering extending the virtual meetings through March 2022. That's up for a vote, I guess, with Dunn. So, and also they've discontinued the data liaison position. And then we will move on to the next one. Area 7 representative at large, verbal and written report on September 27th, Area 7 meeting, as per LHNC standing rules, Article 19, Section F. So just sort of a rundown. Selena, you might have done this before, but just for the record, like a rundown of what you guys talked about at that meeting when you had the area meeting. Selena?
Okay, so you just kind of wanted an overview of what we spoke about?
Yeah, like on the bylaws, it says like if you do have a sort of like a community meeting, that the person kind of has to just kind of give a recap of what happened.
Okay, I see. Okay, so we had the meeting because there's been a spike, like an increase in crime in Area 7. So the initial goal of the meeting was basically so that everybody in the immediate area or anyone else in the community that was interested could have like the senior lead officer's information or anybody else's information in the case of like a burglary or any type of criminal activity. So we didn't have our senior lead officer actually attend, but we had his boss attend the meeting. And he basically said that because of budget cuts due to the human rights crisis of last year, the Black Lives Matter movement, there was like a decrease in patrol units. So, you know, he agreed that there's a large spike in crime, but that their hands are essentially tied. So he gave us the information that we needed, and which is our senior lead officer's information, but he also, okay, I'll give it to you in 1 second. My hands are busy right now. Can you give me 1 minute? Thank you. And so that was basically it. And there was community members who spoke on other issues regarding the like auto dismantlement businesses in the area that are industrializing the area, and they're bad for the environment and for other community members. Those are some of the issues that were brought up, along with other people discussing like crime and so forth. But that was basically it.
Right. Thank you, Selena. And
No
so
problem.
is the Area 7 resident, wait, you're the at-large rep, correct? Yeah. All right, so then we'll move on to item 9. I want to make an announcement that after consulting with the city attorney, item G, wait, what is it? Item E 1 through 5, that will be tabled until the next meeting. All right. So we'll move on to item A.
I have a question. Is anybody monitoring the screen? Morrison and myself have had our hands up for like the last, 10, 12 minutes?
We're not taking any.
I didn't ask. I'm asking if anybody was monitoring the screen, because he had his hand was up for the last 10 minutes. So that needs to be acknowledged.
Public item, was it up during item 6?
Irrelevant, it was up.
Well, we're
No,
not.
it had been up, but there was no board member discussion. It wasn't up during item 7 when we had board announcements.
You failed to ask what the hand was up for.
Armida, I have the floor, please. The only time that they came up were after we started the committees, and it's recorded onto the Zoom, so that we have the record, but there hasn't been any discussion by the board members. All the reports.
I mean, are you, Richard, so the members with their hand up, are you on any committees? Perhaps you could expound on any of the committee announcements? Not on any committees? All right, so we're gonna move on to item A. Discussion and possible action on the formation of LHNC, Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Tenants Rights. That's a Tenants Rights Ad Hoc Committee. Appointment of new Tenants Rights Ad Hoc Committee members, board ratification.
I would, before we started, I'd like to make a motion to approve the Lincoln Heights Tenants Rights Ad Hoc Committee and appointment of new Tenant Rights Committee members. Is there a second?
Second that.
All right.
Okay.
First Vince, second Benny. I would like to appoint Fernie as the chair of the committee.
Sarah, before we appoint, we need a board discussion.
Oh, sorry. Hey, board discussion. Any board member comments on this item?
William Morris.
Yes, I'm actually right now at a rosary. So I had emailed everybody. So right now I'm just coming on because it's my aunt that passed away. So if you want me here for the whole meeting, that's fine. But one other thing that I want to point out as well, because when I was listening, those box homes needs to be investigated because they are being run by LASA, and they're bringing people from other counties into our area. And that's on Avenue 60, right off of Monterey Road. So do you want me here for the whole meeting, or I'm going to go back into the rosary because I'm outside right now?
No, I think if you have to go, I think that's more important. We have 16 board members, so.
All right. I just wanted to be recognized that I am online.
Okay.
Thank you, William.
All right. You're very welcome. Have a wonderful and blessed night.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other board member, I guess discussion on the item? Anybody want to discuss?
Richard Larson.
Hi, yes, thank you. I have the floor. I would like to see some response from our bylaw person, if they could point me in the direction of where this motion is allowed under our bylaws. So I'm not for or against this. I'm just saying the formation of a new committee has a certain procedure, especially since an ad hoc committee, and the appointments are not made the way that they're being made here under our bylaws, and there's no word ratification in our bylaws. So could somebody point me in the direction where this is the way we create and assign and appoint and ratify?
Ben?
This would be another ad hoc committee at this point.
Right, I'm not contesting the formation of an ad hoc committee. It's just, this is done, it says here, appointment of committee members. I don't find that anywhere in our bylaws. And the board ratification, I'm not sure what that's referring to because the word ratification doesn't seem to appear. I could be wrong, but I'd like to be illuminated. Thanks. Can somebody point out rule, article, something? Thanks.
10, 11, 12, standing.
Hold on, we got Jose.
Here we go. Section 2. Jose?
Yeah, there'll be a article. Sorry, by the way, this is Jose Galvez from the Department of Labor Department. Article reference is the Article 7, Committee and their duties, Section 2, second paragraph of the ad hoc. An ad hoc committee may be established by president and by a majority vote of the board.
Okay, now we're talking about here appointment of the committee members. I understand that's the process for an ad hoc committee, but I don't understand the rest of the motion here as it's written. I think it needs to be modified or amended.
Consideration. Blah, 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 blah. Standing committees. There wasn't a standing rules.
Well, I mean, the bylaw itself gives the authority to the board, or it gives the authority to the president. So however we set this up, we can either do it by the president authorizing it, or right now the board can take a full action on its creation, and that should suffice the bylaw. So the motion was to create the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Tenants Right Ad Hoc Committee, which the motion is directed to the general body that in the bylaws gives it the authority to create.
Right, I'm not contesting that. I'm just saying, show me where it says the appointment of new committee members is done by board ratification. I don't find that process anyway. It's just all I'm just asking, point me to where it says that committee members are appointed by the board. I don't see that in our bylaws at all. And I think if you follow the wording that Jose Galdames just read to us, it's pretty clear that the board can form committees, especially ad hoc committees, but there's also more provisions about an ad hoc committee, which hasn't been mentioned here. So I think that needs to be included in the motion. And we should probably amend to the removal of committee members from this motion, because otherwise it's not right.
And then on Section 3, Committee Creation and Authorization, the president shall have the authority to assign the chairs of a committee from among board members and stakeholders and reserve the right to approve or disapprove membership in a committee with cause.
There you go. So what that says in essence is that the president can assign a chair of the committee. And then if you look further in our bylaws, you'll see that the committee chair supplies the executive committee with a roster of committee members. So I'm just pointing out that this motion is incorrect and we should either amend it or modify it before voting on it. Otherwise, it has no meaning.
I disagree with that. I think that the way we're doing it right now and how it's presented, the board will ratify the creation of it, which one of the requirements is in the bylaws. And Sarah can simply then appoint, as she was going to do in the beginning, and we can take a second vote on that, which she can appoint two chairs to it at this point.
Right, I hear what you're saying, Vince, but that's nowhere found in our bylaws. And frankly, I would have to vote against it, even though I support this. I would have to vote against it because this motion as it stands doesn't make sense. I can't find it anywhere in our bylaws and it's improperly worded.
I think with Jose, I think I'm content with what he stated and that we're well within the preview of what the bylaw has for us. And I think we should move on it.
Could you show me where that is?
Jose referenced it twice
No,
already.
yes, I'm not, the section that was quoted was about the formation of the committee. So that's the first sentence. It's the second sentence in the motion. Appointment of new Tenants Rights Committee members. They're not appointed, the roster for the committee is supplied by the chair. So whomever Sarah chooses to appoint as the chair of the Tenants Right Committee, they supply a roster, and if somebody can find some other way of doing that in the bylaws or standing rules, I'll stand corrected or whatever. But I don't see any other thing to do here other than to modify this motion in order to make it legitimate.
I still stand on my original thing that Sarah can appoint the chair, and the chair can then find out what they want. I would ask the president if we could move forward on the creation of it, allow the board to approve it as it states in the bylaws that the general board or the president can approve it. I think that would suffice what we're doing now. And then Sarah can then appoint the chair, which in the chair can then go and look through the roster for committee members.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion to amend the motion as it stands to reflect what Vince just said, that we're going to remove the second sentence and we're going to form this Tenants Rights Ad Hoc Committee. And Sarah can appoint the chair, and then with the understanding, which doesn't have to be in the motion, but that the chair will supply a roster.
I second that motion.
Thank you.
We have a live motion on it. We can't second the motion. We have to deal with the first motion.
No, the motion to modify supersedes. We can vote on that right now.
That's not the way it works. There's a live motion and there was a second to it.
We always have motions to modify amendments as they're in progress.
You can amend it, but you can't motion to amend it without it being approved and the first motion being dealt with.
No, I just did. I motioned to modify the motion, to amend the motion. We do this all the time.
Hi, this is Jose. So an amendment has been proposed, which was seconded. So the discussion would now be on the amendment. If the board wants to consider the amendment or oppose it. So now has a discussion to the amendment that was proposed.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, and if the motion either is approved or the amendment is approved or fails, then it goes back to the either motion. If the motion, the amendment is approved, then then it goes towards motion as amended, which will need to be another vote. If it doesn't get approved for the amendment, then it still maintains the original motion.
Does anyone want me to restate the motion? Amended?
Yes, please.
Okay, discussion and possible action on the formation of the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council Tenants Rights Ad Hoc Committee, period.
And where will you add in the part where Sarah appoints?
That's already in our bylaws. We don't need to,
Chair appoints.
we don't need to put that in there, but if you feel it's necessary, it's in our bylaws. I think we just heard Jose Galdames recite that from our bylaws. If you feel it's necessary, we could say,
That's what I'm
appoint new Tenants Rights Committee chair. So strike the word members and put in chair, and then we're good to go.
So Jose, I know you're reading off of that, but Richard just made a point right now that both of those items are in our bylaws, where it gives the power of the general board to create, and it gives Sarah the ability to appoint the chair. That's why I don't see there's a problem with the agenda item as written. Because those powers are already given, and just like Richard said right now, that the power to appoint the chair doesn't have
not
to be included.
the chair, not the members.
That's what I'm saying, the chair.
Yeah, the chair.
It's like, why am I even typing?
So
this?
the same power is given to us in the bylaws, either the president or the board, and the way the item is written right now, it's asking the board to create it. The board would approve it, and then Sarah then could then appoint. But I see it either way. The way it's written now is
No, hold on. That's not correct. And we just heard that thought was refuted. We don't have anywhere in our bylaws where we appoint new committee members. All I'm saying is that we don't appoint the committee chair. It's the president who appoints the committee chair. And then whoever the chair is appoints the members and submits a roster. That's the process. That's the way it's in our bylaws. So I'm just asking us to either strike that second sentence altogether, or if you, I don't see the need to add it, but I would just strike that whole second sentence. It doesn't make any sense.
Let's discuss. So we're having the discussion right now on Richard's amendment, correct?
Correct.
So then we'll have the discussion, and then we'll vote on whether or not to accept the amendment. And then if not, we'll go to the other one. So board member discussion.
We have Deanna.
So is this specifically about the way the agenda is written? Because from what I'm hearing, Sarah hasn't done anything wrong. She appointed the chair, and that's it. She hasn't appointed members or anything yet. So is this just about the way it's written, or something else?
No, you have my point exactly, which is that all we are doing is forming. First thing we're doing at that first sentence, we're forming an ad hoc committee, which is in our bylaws, and that's the way to do it, the way that it's here. The second thing is that Sarah appoints the chair, not we don't appoint the committee members. It's according to our
but she hasn't appointed any members, has she?
Answer another board member comment for the discussion, because otherwise it's going to be just a sort of back and forth with Richard for a long time. Any other board member comments for the discussion? On this item? We have to move on.
I don't see any.
Any public comments about this item?
Let me see. I don't see any.
Okay, so then we'll go for a vote on Richard's amendment, correct?
Correct.
So, Vince?
So we just got to go down the list. If you have the
Oh, you want me to take the votes? Yeah.
the votes.
Okay, amendment. Okay, so this is in favor of Richard's amendment. Yes or no? Clendon, I'll start with I won't say myself first. Wadsworth,
Yes.
okay. Sanchez, absent. Montalvo,
No.
okay. Soto. Nancy? Shit, sorry. Morrison, Rodriguez Morrison,
He's absent. He stepped out.
Benny Madera,
No.
no. Didia,
Yes.
Joanna? She's not here. Richard Larson,
Yes.
Annalee Har. Absent. Melanie Belomo Shiflett.
Yes.
Vicente Gonzalez Reyes, absent. Armida Marufa.
Vicente's here.
Oh, he is here. Vicente, are you here? Yes, or what's your vote? Vicente?
One second, he's here. Vicente?
Hey,
Can you hear
Vicente,
me?
Yes.
Yeah, what's your
I'm
vote?
always here. I just got bad reception. I'm about to leave right now. I'm getting in a zone where I cannot be in the meeting no more. So just to let you know, I'm always in the attending side.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
about to leave again, okay?
Is that what you say? All right. Well, you're not,
Okay.
okay. So,
So I've been notifying our president all the time. So I don't know what you guys talking about missing 7 meetings. I've been here all the time on the attending side.
okay, what is your vote? Yes or no? Sir.
Hello?
All right,
hear
we're gonna
me?
move on to the next voter. If you're not gonna vote right now.
Can you
we're
hear me?
Yes, I can. We need your vote, yes or no? Vicente, we are voting on an item. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next person then, and we'll come back to you. Armida Marufo, what is your vote?
Yes.
Victor Azevedo,
Yes.
Diego Zapata,
Abstain.
abstain. Gil Arevalo,
Yes.
Richard Ortiz. Richard Ortiz, are you here? All right. Steve Lucero,
Yes.
Elena Ruiz, absent. Selena Ortega. All right, absent.
Abstain.
Oh, abstain, okay. Abstain. And Diana Tran?
Abstain.
Okay, and then me, Sarah Clendenning, no. And then Vicente, if I'm gonna bounce back to you, what is your vote? Vicente Gonzalez Reyes?
One second, let me check again, because he
We need
bounces
to-
out. and pushes them.
We need to check quorum after this, because I don't know what's going on. All right, so the motion is, goes with yes with Richard's thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right?
Yes, correct.
Correct. So, okay, so then the people have voted to vote for Richard's amendment. So, now what? Then I will continue. Okay, so we have formed to the committee, blah, blah, blah. Do we have to vote on it anymore, Vince?
No, I don't know if you want to make your note of the appointment.
So,
Okay.
yeah, move towards appointments and the approval.
Well, hold on a second. We're going to take a vote on the original motion, which will create the committee first, and then Sarah can appoint the chair.
We just did.
No, we just voted to amend the motion. So the motion is now amended. We're striking the second sentence. Now we're going ahead with that amended motion. That's what we're voting on right now. Is everybody with me on that?
All right, well, we have to get through this. So, what do we do?
We're voting on the amended motion.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to.
Move towards, again, just proceed with the committee member.
Proceed with the committee member, with the appointment?
Your nominations.
Sarah, we just do the same one again. So
Yeah.
now this is for
Okay.
the way it was amended. We're gonna vote now for the creation of it as amended.
Okay,
Yeah, so the only thing that was amended was to strike the board ratification. From
okay,
the, just,
Okay.
so now it's back to,
okay, so now, do we have to have another discussion on this other item, on the amended version?
no,
Vince,
at this time, just proceed with, who were your nomination?
oh, okay, my nomination for chair would be Fernanda Sanchez. So, now we vote again, correct?
Yes, on the full let's just
Oh.
vote on it, on the amended version of it.
Hold on just a second. I'm not wanting to interrupt willfully, but we just modified a motion to create an ad hoc. You can't appoint a chair to a committee that does not exist. So we're just putting the horse in front of the cart, which is we create the committee and then we appoint the chair, or that is to say you do, Sarah. It's the board has to create the committee and then you get to appoint the chair. That's how it works.
So right now, Sarah, the vote's just gonna be now on the official creation of it as amended.
Okay.
So the motion, we can go down on this.
So I'm taking the vote right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so vote on the original thing as amended. So just the first item, discussion and possible action on the formation of LHNC Tenants Rights Ad Hoc Committee, period. That's it. That's what we're voting on, voting on now, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we go down the votes. Glendenning, yes, sure. Wads,
Yes.
Bernie, absent. Montalvo,
Yes.
Soto, absent. Morrison, absent. Benny Madeira,
Yes.
Didier DeLizer.
Yes.
Okay, Joanna, Richard Larson,
Yes.
Annalee Har, absent. Melanie Palomo Shiflett,
Yes.
Vicente Gonzalez Reyes, absent. Amita Marufo.
Yes.
Okay, yes, okay. Victor Azevedo.
Yes.
Mhm. Diego Zapata. sorry.
Yes.
Gil Arevalo.
Yes.
Okay, Richard Ortiz. Richard Ortiz. Steve Lucero.
Yes.
Elena Ruiz. Selena Ortega.
Yes.
Diana Trump.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have exactly 14 yes. Okay, so the motion carries. So motion carries, tap, tap. Or one. Okay, so do I have to, we're not adding anybody, right? We can just move on to the next one.
Well, you announced, I guess, just make an announcement. Doesn't have to be on this, but this, you made an announcement that you were going to appoint Fernie Sanchez.
Oh, yeah, and then I hereby appoint Fernanda Sanchez as the chair of the Tenants Right Committee.
Okay, and then we'll let her take it on from there.
All right, so B, discussion and possible action on the creation of Dios De Los Muertos public community altar to be placed in the public square in Lincoln Heights for the community to contribute photos. That's a Day of the Dead altar.
Before we start, I'll just make the motion
Yeah.
on the creation of the Dia de los Muertos public community altar to be placed in the public square in Lincoln Heights for community to contribute photos.
All right, board member discussion.
Well, we need a second. Is there a second for it?
I second.
Okay, second.
Diego
from
Zapata.
Diego. All right, and then board member discussion.
Okay, 1 second. We got Richard Larson.
Yes, thank you. Does somebody, is the person who is going to be the chair or the person responsible for this, is that person identified, or we're creating a community altar? I'm not sure that word is the right word to be used. It kind of has a, you know, we're not a 501c, I don't think, and we're not a religious organization. I get the idea that we are representing the community of Lincoln Heights. Could I ask this question to start with? Which committee did this motion come from?
Comes from the, what is it, the Programs and Services Committee?
Okay, so just to make a point of that, I haven't seen any of those agenda. That for a lot of these things, I don't see the agenda. And the other thing is,
Kind of just like,
the most recent minutes that are posted online are from May 17th or something, which is, I don't know how many is that, like, that's almost, that is 5 months ago. Oh my gosh. So if there's something that the community should be aware of to be involved in these, votes. We need to include the community of Lincoln Heights in these decisions. I just can't find where these things, they pop up into being out of thin air and nobody had anything to do with them. I don't think that looks very good to our community. And maybe they might have something to say about this, because I don't know anything about this. Could somebody explain what this is? Thanks.
Well, Annalee's not here. Nancy?
If there's no one here, we don't have any back and forth on it. If there's no.
Yeah, I mean, it's like weird. It's like, the minutes, you're in debt of many minutes, Richard. So you shouldn't be talking. But in any case, this is for a Day of the Dead Shrine after a pandemic wiped out a big chunk of our community, so that the community on Indigenous land can have sort of a, however they feel. Hey.
Well, of course, I'm well aware of it.
So, any board member comments?
We got Armida.
Shouldn't this be part of the events committee? This is of a religious nature. You just cannot be popping up things like this just randomly. That is just not acceptable. This should be a whole Lincoln Heights Community Council event that should have been like in the process a couple weeks ago. I mean, we know Halloween's coming. We know Veterans Day and other celebratory events are coming up. You just can't pop this up like that. This is a religious event. You need to be very careful how you approach this situation. And like I said, to creating a committee when you already have an events committee, which this should be part of an event. Right. So that's just too many committees, but nothing's happening.
What committee are you on? Sorry. All right. So any other board member comments?
I'm sorry, what was the question again, Sarah?
I wanted to ask if you were on a committee.
No, not yet.
Okay, you're not on one yet. Okay, because that's a requirement in the bylaws. Any other?
Letting me know.
My hand is raised, Vincent.
Yes, you're next, Gil. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Gil, you're next.
Okay. Yes. Well, this came up in program. This is the first time I've heard of it. It certainly wasn't in our meetings. So they're exactly right. What is being said is that it goes presented to a committee. The committee discusses it and votes on it, and then brings it to the board. This was not did not come out of the committee. There was no discussion at the committee meeting that we had regarding it.
All right. Any other board member comments?
We have Victor.
Victor?
Yeah, do we know the location where this is gonna be? And are we gonna spend any money to ornate the location or rent the location? And do we need some type of liability insurance for the location where this shrine is gonna be?
Right. Good question.
I can say from the Treasury standpoint that there is no funding from it. We couldn't fund something like this anyways. And as the liability, it would never cover, anything like that unless we had a co-sponsorship or the event had an event form with it. And it would have taken me at least a month or a month and a half to get any type of cover from the city.
Yeah, it would be in a public area, perhaps gated off, but outside where people can contribute to it. But it would be sort of a, I would assume, community dedicated spot. Okay. Any other board member comments?
Yes, we got Melanie.
Melanie?
Hi. I don't have anything to say about the formation of, or the adding of this to the agenda, because I don't know how that works, but just a word about Dios De Los Muertos. I understand I'm a white woman bringing this up, but my understanding is that this is not like a Christianity religion. This is like Aztec ancient religion. So it's continuing to say that this is like a religious, it's not, traditionally at least was not, and it has a broad meaning to lots of different cultures, obviously. But and altars and ofrendas, that's just the terminology that's used in Dia de los Muertos. So just wanted to mention that.
Thank you, Mel.
Thank you, Mel. Any other board member comments?
Deanna?
Hi. So I actually really like this idea because my school is doing something similar. So we're having a school-wide shrine, well, slash ofrenda too, right? And I think, my teacher's been really great at trying to bring in to bring cultural immersion into it because, so fun fact, well, first, I'm Vietnamese. I also have an altar slash shrine at home to honor my dead grandparents, right? So I personally don't see it as a religious thing. I personally see it as a cultural thing because if you look at culture, like a bunch of cultures around the world, there are so many that have shrines dedicated to their dead ancestors and all that. And I think that's really cool. And it's a really great time to bring cultural immersion into everything, especially because they're still, sorry, that's the phone, COVID, and because they're still anti-Asian with COVID and everything. So it's a great way to bring the community together culturally as well. And because my school is under LESD and we can do it, it's and we can do it, it isn't religiously affiliated.
Oh, wow.
So long as you just don't use altar, you have to use shrine, I think.
Oh, okay.
Or either or, honestly. Yeah. I mean, at some point, they're just interchangeable.
Thank
Great.
you, Deanna.
Thank you, Diana. Any other board member comment?
Diego?
Thank you, Vincent. So, from my own opinion, no matter where this event came from, if we were to deprive our community of an opportunity to remember those lost, to mourn a lot of the traumas that our community has incurred, I think our council would be doing our community disservice. I also believe that we are deliberating this line item as a community right now. And maybe we can motion to give this as a line item for the outreach and events committee, for instance. I don't know if that's a possibility. I'm new to this council thing, as most of us are, and we're figuring it out day by day. But what stands is that I stand by this as something that we should be investing our time and effort into. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you, Diego.
All right.
And then we have now Selena Ortega.
Selena?
Hi, yeah, I just had a suggestion for the location for the cultural event that's being proposed. I was thinking maybe the senior center where we would have our physical meetings. Just a suggestion. And I also follow what Diego's saying that this is the place and time to discuss this. We shouldn't just automatically remove it from the agenda and discussion.
Thank you, Selena.
Right.
And Gilbert?
Yes, it's like Selena said, this is it should be brought to a committee and then brought by the way the operation of the Robert's Rules and Order. It's not that believe me, I'm not against it or anything else like that, but it's just the process that you have to follow to bring it to the board. Goes to a committee. It's received by the committee, it's discussed by the committee, voted on by the committee, and then brought to the board. That's just, you're bringing, like Richard says, out of the blue, and that's not Robert Rules of Order.
Thank you. And then we have no more, Sarah, of the board member comments.
Any public comments on this item?
If there's anybody in the public that wishes to make a comment, use *9 from a landline or use the little yellow hand icon. I don't see any.
Okay, so we would take it for a vote then, right?
Correct.
Okay, so the motion is in favor of the Day of the Dead offerenda.
You want me to read the motion back?
Yeah, can you read the motion back?
The motion is an action on creation of the Dia de los Muertos public community altar to be placed in public square in Lincoln Heights for the community to contribute photos.
All right, Ben Wadsworth.
Abstain. It's too muddled.
Okay, abstain. Okay, Fernanda Sanchez. Absent. Vince Montalvo,
Yes.
Nancy Soto. Absent.
Yes.
Oh, yes, okay, yes. William Morrison. Absent. Benny Madera,
Yes.
Didier DeLizer,
Yes.
Joanna. Absent. Okay, Richard Larson,
Yes.
Annalee Har, absent. Melanie Paloma Shiflett,
Yes.
Vicente Gonzalez Reyes, absent. Armida Marufo,
No.
no, okay. Victor Azevedo,
Abstain.
absent. Diego Zapata,
Yes.
Gil Arevalo,
Abstain.
okay, Richard Ortiz. Okay, Steve Lucero,
Yes.
Leno Ruiz. No, absent. Selena Ortega,
Yes.
okay, Deanna Trump. Diana,
Yeah.
okay, and then Sarah, me, yes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4,
I'm
5.
amending my, I'm changing my vote to abstain.
Okay, so abstain. Abstain. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yes. Motion carries. Tap, tap. All right, so we move on to the next item. Oh, so this will be the formation. Okay, so discussion of possible action on, so this is the formation of the elections committee. Discussion and possible action on removal of all past elections committee members, appointment of new elections committee members, board ratification. So I don't, yeah, there was an existing elections committee, but I don't think it had been implemented for a very long time. So I don't know who was on it. So we're trying to.
Let me make the motion on it so we can open it for
Yeah.
discussion. I'd like to make the motion on the removal of all past election committee members, appointment of new committee members, excuse me, board ratification.
All right. Any board member comments, discussion?
We need a second, Sarah?
Well, I second.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Board member discussion?
Richard Larson?
Yes, thank you. I have the floor. So this committee already exists in our bylaws. It existed from our formation. And the president comes in and appoints chairs. There's no process or procedure to remove board members unless they've been, you know, unruly or out of hand or embarrassing or something. But those things are all defined in our bylaws. So this motion is incorrectly worded, and I'm introducing a motion here to change the wording of this, just to simply state, could I see that a little bit larger? I can look at it on myself, but I see it says election committee members appointment. So again, this goes back to the other discussion. We don't appoint members, and the provision already exists in our bylaws on an existing committee that simply the president appoints a chair. The chair submits a roster. So this motion should be strucken from the agenda. There's nothing here that the committee can weigh in on. And as such, it doesn't have any, there's no actionable item in that motion.
Well,
on this one, Sarah, I think you should just, you can just appoint a chair.
there's nobody on this actual committee anyway. I don't even think it exists anymore. All the committee members are gone. Selena, were you on this committee?
Yes, I was the chair.
Oh, you-
But you're right. I think I'm the only person left here.
Good person, okay. Well,
And I totally agree with what you're doing. This is great.
yeah, we want to activate the elections committee. So, I mean, I would love to have you as the chair, but In any case, okay, so it already exists. Selena's the chair. So maybe we'll just, this is non-actionable. So we'll just move on, correct, Vince?
Correct.
Okay, so we'll move on. So Selena is the chair, the committee exists, and if you would like to join this elections committee, which is going to be very important in the coming months, you contact Selena, and that goes to the public too. Selena, what's your email? Give you a little shout out, Selena.
Yeah, so it's Selena, SELENA dot Ortega, ORTEGA @gmail.com.
All right, thank you, Selena. Okay, now we'll move on to the next item. Announcement as item D, 9D, announcement of LHNC vacancies as of 10/7/21. That's our last meeting. That's business rep, area 4 rep, resident rep, area 7 resident rep. So we have the supporting information on our website as a supplementary document. And have we received any applications, Ben?
No, I haven't.
So we haven't. So discussion of, so items D 1 through 3 or I through I. We have no actionable, no actions that we can do. So we have received no applications. All right. So we'll move on to item. We're going to go through to item F because we tabled item E. Item F, discussion of possible action on letter and community impact statement regarding CF 200980, approval, revocation / development projects and project applications / corruption or fraud / amendment. Ordinance adding 1.3 to Article 1.3 to Chapter 1 of the LAMC to establish a procedure for the City Council to revoke approvals by development projects. Wait, I'm sorry, to revoke approvals of development projects and terminate project applications tainted by corruption or fraud. So we have a little letter. Now, we had this as an item before. Vince, can you pull that letter up?
Pulling it up now.
So it's basically saying like,
Before we go any further, we should get a motion on it so we can
Okay,
go through
sorry.
the proper process.
okay,
So
sorry.
item F, I'll make the motion to approve the letter for a community impact statement regarding CF 200980, approval, revocation, development project and project applications, corrupt or fraud, amendment ordinance adding Article 1.3 to Chapter 1 of the LAMC to establish procedures for the City Council to revoke approvals of development projects and terminate project applications tainted by corruption or fraud.
I'll second.
All right, cool. So I guess we'll open it up for board member conversation or dialogue. Once we get the image on the screen, where is it? Okay.
Can you guys see it? I just put it up.
No.
Nope.
Okay, give me 1 second. Let me just put the screen share again.
So you can read, maybe you scroll down a little past my letter. It goes into just Mike Boyer's letter, like the statement. And he's saying that, yeah, they're asking City Council to use the tools that they have at hand to self-regulate. This council file has seen no action since it was introduced over a year ago. It's kind of asking the people who are doing the thing to stop, to regulate themselves. So it doesn't really make much sense.
Should we open it up to board member comment?
Yeah.
Richard Larson.
Yes, thank you. So I have the floor. I have a bunch of questions on this. I mean, it could be a very good thing. So my first question is, what committee did this come from? I haven't seen any minutes from any committees since, again, May 17th. So we need to establish the fact that the community of Lincoln Heights was involved in this effort. I don't see that reflected anywhere. I just see these things kind of popping up out of thin air. So that's question one. The second question is there a particular project you're referring to? And then my third question is, would there be a need of some proof or at least a definition of what taint is? I mean, that's culturally oblique. And has anyone provided information on the cost? Is there a cost threshold? And my biggest question is if in fact taint could be established, in what court would that offense be heard? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Armida?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same question that as Richard was asking. Where did these come from, this letter? Somebody needs to clarify.
The letterhead states that it comes from Mike Fuhrer, City Attorney.
The motion.
The motion.
There was no response to those questions. Is there any other board member comment?
Yes, I'm addressing to the person who brought this forward, and we have no idea who that is. So if the person who brought this forward could identify themselves and answer those questions in order for the community to respond. What is this project referring to? What's the definition of taint? Has anyone provided the cost for obstructing a project? The city in the past has been sued for multiple millions of dollars for doing this really close to here. And my question is, in what court would taint be adjudicated?
I mean, this was written by Mike Fuhrer.
No. We're talking about the motion here. Thanks. We're not talking.
He uses the word taint. It's an amendment to an ordinance. He's amending the ordinance to make the city officials have to self-monitor and by law have to strike down any project that's tainted or corrupt. Okay, so like, yeah. So this community impact statement.
And what committee did this come from?
Well, this was introduced maybe 3 months ago.
This also went through the executive committee.
Yeah, the executive committee. So
Well, it's got to come from one of the committees, and it's got to be open so the public can come in and weigh in on it. That's standing rule 14, I believe.
And the executive committee is exactly all of those things.
Mm-hmm. So it went through the executive.
The public, our executive committee follows all committee rules the same. The public has a right under public comment under each item and before an agenda is approved. So the process was done through committee. And now it's approved for the general board.
Hi, this is Jose. Also, it's agendized for tonight for the board meeting for the public to make comments on the agenda item itself, so they have opportunity to engage.
Since Jose is speaking, I have a question. Would we be reprimanded for making a civil matter of business that falls under the city of Los Angeles?
The neighborhood council is voting on a community impact statement that's submitted to CM through the council file motion management system on weighing in on the voice. So this is regarding the motion that's been submitted. It's by Mike Fuhrer. Is the board making a motion to consider to approve, or is there amendment? So this is your time to discuss on where you weigh in on the motion.
Okay.
Besides, also the city is the city is the one that represents the city, so that'll be city council, mayor's office. They're the ones that make the litigation. Neighborhood councils advise, provide recommendations, community impact statements, voice in their concerns from the community.
I have a question on that, if you don't mind. So normally, the process of creating a community impact statements has primarily one purpose, and that is to enjoin other neighborhood councils to weigh in on it. I'm wondering what kind of outreach has been done on this particular community impact statement. Do you have any record of what other communities are weighing in on this, and if we made any effort to engage other neighborhood councils to join us on this community impact statement?
Don't know right now. I don't have that information with me, but I can look up and check on the council file management system.
Council tends to spearhead the CFMS. We tend to put this statement first and then people follow because we're actively entrenched in that CFMS world. And this one is an old one that was overlooked. And it's timely, good, nice time for it to surface its little head, and I feel that us shining a light on it spreads the word.
All right, I don't see any more board members. Should we open it up to public comment?
Public comments?
Is there anybody in the public that wishes to make a comment? You can do so by pressing *9 if you're on a landline, or use the little yellow hand icon. I don't see any.
Okay, so no public comments. All right, so I guess we'll take this for a vote.
I want to just make, before we take a vote, I'm looking at the attendees room right now, and Vicente Gonzalez is in the attendee room at 7:19, and I'm promoting him over to panelist.
Okay. Again, okay, so he came back. Okay. All right. So
we got a second, we got the public comment, and it's time to vote.
okay, so time to vote. So we're gonna vote. So motion to approve letter. Ben Wadsworth.
Approve.
All right. Renita Sanchez, absent. Vince Montalvo,
Yes.
Nancy Soto.
Yes.
All right. William Morrison, absent. Benny Madera,
Yes.
Didier Delizer,
Abstain.
abstain. Okay, Joanna, absent. Richard Larson,
Yes.
okay. Annalee Har, absent. Melanie Bologna Shiplet,
Yes.
Vicente Gonzalez Reyes. Vicente? Armida Maruco?
No.
Okay, Victor Azevedo?
Yes.
Diego Zapata?
Yes.
Okay, Gil Arevalo?
Yes.
All right. Richard Ortiz? Absent. Steve Lucero?
Yes.
Elena Ruiz? Absent. Selena Ortega?
Yes.
All right. Diana Tran?
Yeah.
And then Sarah Clendenning, yes. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yes. The motion carries.
Sarah, I just want to make a note onto the record that at 7:20, we lost Vicente.
Okay,
Again, he's not in the attendees or in the panelists.
okay, yeah, he wasn't vocal when we voted too, so, all right. Then we're gonna move on to the last item. Oh, discussion on possible action. Okay, so this is item G. ABCDE. Okay, so item G under 9G. Okay, discussion and possible action on letter to HCID and City Attorney regarding 3000 North Main Street, quote, the Brine. Letter written on behalf of the tenants at a rent-controlled apartment building at 1818 to 1820 North Johnston Street that, quote, the Brine seeks to demolish for their, quote, project. Tenants asked us for support as they are unaware of the developer's plans and they are at risk of displacement and illegal eviction. Presentation by tenants of 1818 to 1820 North Johnston. They weren't available. So this is a letter that we wrote to HCID asking for clarification on specific numbers of actual tenants displaced and yeah, so we can really get a big view of it to present to them and then the options. So it's considering like Ellis units, just we need data. So Vince, do you have that letter?
Yes, I'm bringing it up now, but before I do that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the letter to HCID and the City Attorney regarding 3000 North Main Street, the Brine. letter written on behalf of the tenants at the rent-controlled apartment building at 1818, 1820 North Johnson Street, that the Brine seek to demolish for their project. Tenants ask us for support as they are unaware of the developer's plans, and they are at risk of displacement and illegal eviction.
Second that.
Second.
Hold on just a second. That's an improper motion.
Made the motion already. It's been second. We'll have discussion.
Point of order.
We have a motion that's been second, and it'll be ready. As soon as
Point of order.
What is your point, Richard?
You introduced motion G. I heard you say motion G. We're on motion G. And then all of a sudden we have this other motion coming in here to vote on something else. Motion G had been introduced and we are on, I believe someone seconded motion G. I don't know, but we're certainly not introducing like 4 motions here.
This is one letter. It's motion G, Richard. That's not a point. Your point's dismissed. It's not a point. So let's move on.
Well, the motion is,
You have no point. Now stop.
well, yeah, I just heard 2 motions, one on top of each other. Does somebody like to, clarify that?
It is one motion. I read the motion, item G.
You said you,
I
hold
said
on.
I make a motion.
Vince, you just said, I want to introduce a motion of the letter, but Sarah had already done that. So you've got us all confused here. What's going on?
That's not what I stated. I said I would like to make the motion to approve the letter. And I said the whole item that's on item G that was in front of you, and we are about to bring up the letter. And the letter, everyone can see it on the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council under supplemental documents. And I'm bringing it up now for everyone to see. Give me 1 second. And so I'll just, Sarah, I'm gonna restate it again because we did get it second by Steve. So we're on item G, and the motion is to approve the letter to HCID and the City Attorney regarding 3000 North Main Street, the Brine, the letter written on behalf of the tenants at a rent-controlled apartment building at 1818, 1820 North Johnson Street, that the Brine seeks to demolish for their project. The tenants asked us for support as they are unaware of the developer's plans and they are at risk of displacement and illegal eviction. And then we got the motion second by Steve. And then now we're opening it up to board member comments. Richard Larson.
Yes, thank you. So I was the chair of the Planning and Land Use Committee when this project was presented several times to the community. And the project was approved, and then it was approved again. I think we have several actions that we've taken on this. It's kind of odd, but I think we have a representative here today. I see Gabriela Vega here. Would you like to introduce your comments, Gabriela?
Richard, 1 second. Yeah, you just Richard, you just misrepresented the position of the board. Our board actually voted against this project.
I don't have any record of that.
We voted against this project on, what was the date, everyone? When we voted against this project, when it was an item? It was.
It was February 18, 2021.
Well, you guys voted against it one time, and then we voted against it again because there was it was unclear. Because the planning and land use minutes have been held from us. So our board made a board decision on, there we go, on February 18th, 2021. Oh yeah, there it is. No, on February 18th, 2021, Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council voted to oppose the Brine, and it's in our minutes of our council, actually. So our council voted against this, and you keep promoting it as that our council had supported this project, and you're misrepresenting the stance of the board. I don't know why you're doing this, and you're also hiding the records of over 20 planning and land use meeting minutes.
Point of order.
So
you're attributing.
That's it. So I don't really think that we should.
Your point of order, you're
Is
attributing
it
motivations
actual
to my
rec-
actions.
Uh,
The minutes you're talking about were never approved, so I don't have any right to post minutes that were never approved. I was directed by the executive committee to do what I was told. And basically what you're doing is you're slandering me, not only in this agenda, but in what you're saying here right now. You're saying that I did it for some reason, and that's not true at all. And I do have records of that project being approved.
You're interrupting, point of order.
Sarah?
All right. We cannot have.
What I have done, because the board got out of control, is now all actions, you have to raise your hand to be allowed to speak now.
Okay, so as we were saying, the board has already, there was already a board decision on this project. It was voted down on February 18th, 2021. According to our general board minutes, not planning and land use minutes. And we have Mr. Benny Madera, correct?
Are you recognizing him to speak?
Yeah, I'm recognizing Benny.
Okay, let me, Benny, if you can unmute yourself.
Benny?
Yes, yes,
So
can you hear me?
tell us about the action that was taken on February 18th?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was sitting on the board. I was on the board of directors for the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council. On February the 18th, 2021, we voted this project down, as our president stated. The count was 11 no, 3 yeses, and 1 abstain. So again, I mean, I agree with what our president's saying, is that I don't understand why the board member, Mr. Larson, is trying to rewrite history.
Point of order.
Okay, so
your point.
We voted on that project on October 17th of 2020. So the idea that we were voted on something we already voted for in February has no meaning.
That was the general board voted against this project. Are you
No, not on December 17th of 2020. We voted on that and it was approved. 12-02.
That was when you were writing letters of support, no?
No, this you're completely incorrect. You're completely incorrect on this.
I'm completely incorrect on this. Okay, well, thank you, Richard. Do we have any other board members who were present during that time and voted? Gil, were you present? Mr. Aravallo? You don't have to reply if you don't want.
Yes, unmute.
Okay, Gil, Mr. Aravallo, Gil Aravallo, can you unmute, please?
You can unmute now. Gil, if you can unmute yourself.
Yes, I was there at the meeting. I presided over the meeting, and the project was voted down. It was exactly as Benny said. I think Richard is referring to another meeting that was declared not good because we had members that were voting and were not supposed to vote. So that project was not only voted down in the board, but also by the Planning and Land Use Committee.
All right, thank you, Gil. Okay, I see that we have a hand up. It's Selena Ortega.
Yes, so I was also at that meeting. And I believe also at that meeting, there were community members who pointed out that Richard is very clearly lying, and that's very unfair to our community members. And it was actually the community members who pointed this out. So he can't accuse anyone of slandering him, you know, when the community itself is pointing out these facts.
All right, thank you, Selena.
Sarah, if we can get back onto the agenda item.
Yeah.
We had the board discussion on it.
Okay.
And then if we can get public comment so that we can move to a vote.
Okay, so let's any more. Okay, so no more board member comments. Okay, so we're going to go to public comments. Any public comments on this item?
We have 2 public comments. We have Jose.
Jose?
No,
Oh,
It's Jose from Neighborhood Department.
Oh, no, sorry about
hey,
Just
okay. Gabriela Vega.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi, yes, thank you. First, on behalf of DECO Corporation, a 501c3 nonprofit public benefit corporation, I would like to thank you for prioritizing the rights of tenants in your community. So my name is Gabriela Vega, and I am the Community Development Manager of DECO Corporation, the owner of the property in question. So I just want to make it clear, the demolition notice posted on the property was a complete misunderstanding by our consultant. So there are 4 buildings on the parcel, and only the rear vacant industrial building is being demolished as part of the project. To clarify, all of the tenants in the residential buildings have leases in place that protect their rights to remain on this property. These buildings have not been processed under any LS Act and would be if their demolition was ever to be considered. So again, DECO wants to thank the Lincoln Heights Neighborhood Council for addressing tenant needs in your area. This is a complete misunderstanding. DECO is very concerned with the misrepresentations in this letter and will respond in writing. Thank you.
thank you.
Pedro Ramirez.
Pedro Ramirez, hello.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So I just had a quick comment in response to the shenanigans that were going on earlier with the whole, did it get voted out? Did it get voted in? Time and time again, the community has come out in droves to oppose this project. And multiple times we've tried shooting it down. And I have no idea why Richard Larson keeps saying that this was approved when there has always been a giant community uproar against this project. They even went as far as to like change the name of the thing from the Brine to like the 3000 North Main Street, I guess hoping that nobody would notice that it was the same thing. And then I think at that meeting, I called him out on that too. Like I told him, why did you change the name of the project from the Brine to this? And it just feels like it's continuous and continuous and continuous. He continues to try and push this forward when it's very blatant that the community doesn't want this. Thank you.
Thank you, Pedro.
We have Robert Vega.
Robert Vega? Hello, Robert?
Robert, if you can unmute yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Yes.
Yeah. This is my corner of the neighborhood. I've been to all those meetings. I've never seen this humongous group of people who was opposing this project. I do recall this project passing, and today, in fact, I went and spoke with the renters about this because I knew it was coming up today, and they were told that they would house them and pay for the housing, and they had first dibs at the houses. When it's built, they would have first bids to come back. So I don't know what, and some of the people there are there wanting to be paid off because they know that replacing or displacing somebody, they would have to pay them, a moving fee or whatever it is. But they were told either to find somewhere to stay in case they were to knock the building down, and they would place them somewhere else. And then once the building's up, they would have first dibs at the apartment units. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay, thank you, Rob. All right, so with that, any more public comments on this item?
We have none.
Okay, so we'll
Sir, I would just like to make an announcement for our record, is that the last person, Robert Vega, mentioned that the owners of the project mentioned that they would promise housing to them. If that statement is to be true, that's illegal. No agency can promise housing under the Fair Housing Act in return that if they leave or they receive payment that they can come back to better housing. That's not how housing works. So I think we need to make a note of that. because if any of those renters have any of those documents that state that, we do need to report it to the Fair Housing Act. That's just a statement I just wanted to make because I heard the comment.
Yeah.
But we can go to vote.
And I would like to make a statement that, many of the buildings have been torn down so far. So the representative statement about them having not been torn down is actually false. And the Ellis thing is false as well. So they have been Ellis, or not all the units, but some. So, okay, so we'll take it for a vote. So motion to approve the letter. Ben Wadsworth?
Yes.
Okay. Fernando Sanchez, absent. Vince Montalvo?
Yes.
Nancy Soto? Nancy? William Morrison, absent. Benny Madeira? Oh, wait, I have to let people unmute, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna stop.
Let me go back. Nancy, sorry.
Nancy?
Please unmute Nancy.
Hi, okay, yes.
Okay, thank you. William Rodriguez Morrison, he's not here, right? Correct?
Correct.
Okay, Betty Madeira, please unmute.
Yes.
Okay, Didier DeLizer,
Yes.
all right. Joanna, absent. Okay, Richard Larson, please unmute.
Yeah, when you silence me, you're basically removing me
Sure.
from the meeting.
Your,
And when you do that, there's no point in me being here.
What is your?
So when you silence me, there's no grounds for calling me to be whether I'm here or not.
You have
My
a
vote on this, after being slandered numerous times here, that my statements are correct, and I refute, and I will be filing a grievance on this that has been recorded here. I am voting no on this motion.
All right, so Annalee Har, absent. Right. Not here. Melanie Palomo Shiflett.
Yes.
All right. Vicente Gonzalez Reyes, absent. Armida Barufo.
Clarification, you stated that half the property is already demolished?
Yes.
Okay, so what is this letter for? So which part, 1820, what part is demolished? And if that's the case, shouldn't this letter be?
You're not aware of what's going on. I can't tell you right now, but I'm asking you for your vote right now.
I mean, I'm asking for clarification because you're some parts are demolished. So the address part needs to be clear.
Property, it is not one property.
You're interrupting me. Which part of North Johnston is demolished?
Is
That
a
needs to be
block
clarified.
property, is a project which encompasses multiple properties. It's clear you're not aware of this project.
Which one of those two addresses?
Is your what is your vote?
Sir, this is Jose.
Yes.
Again, to the board members, the discussion is over. Right now, it's the board action, so it's the middle of the vote. Please cast your vote.
What's your vote? Amita?
Mr. Galamis, all I asked for was for clarification.
Yes, and that was during board discussion, and right now it's board the board is taking a vote, so.
Yeah, but she made that statement after. If this is being recorded, so we need to be clear. She made this statement after. It wasn't made during the motion, so we need to be clear on that too, though. We are being recorded, and we need to make sure, like the gentleman was clear.
Okay. So what is your vote? Armida?
No.
Also, we were muted through that whole discussion period.
Exactly.
You had commented already. All right, so let's see, Armida, no. Victor Azevedo, your vote, please.
Yes.
Okay. Diego Zapata?
Yes, please.
All right. Gil Aravalo?
Yes.
That's an incorrect vote. I'm.
Okay, so.
There's an ethics complaint here. Gil lives right across the street. He can't vote on this.
I wonder, okay, let's see. He's not within 500 feet, actually. So
He lives right across the street. He lives within 250 feet of that project.
There are people that own property right across the street that are, associated with.
On a diagonal, it's from the corner of the property to 250 feet to his front door. I don't see how that's legit.
No more. Richard Ortiz, absent. Okay, Steve Lucero.
Yes.
All right, Lena Ruiz, absent. Selena Ortega. Selena?
Yes.
All right. Diana Tran? Diana? D Tran? Oh, wait, Diana's hand's up. Diana, can you unmute yourself? Can she unmute herself?
Deanna, try unmuting yourself.
Oh, now I can unmute myself. Heck yeah. Yes.
Okay, and then Sarah Clendenning, yes, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, yes, yay. Okay, all right. Motion carries. Tap, tap. All right, so with that, non-agenda, we'll go to item 9. Non-agenda public comments, 2 minutes per person. Oh, wait, no, it's item 10, my bad. Non-agenda public items, 2 minutes per person. So do we have any public comments, just non-agenda items? Anybody?
Yes, we do. Let me just get the timer ready.
All right.
Here we go. Give me 1 second. Okay.
All right. We want to hear from our public. Excellent.
Our first one is, if you can please state your name. It's a telephone number ending in 800.
All right, so telephone number ending in 800. Hello. You say your name?
If you can state your name, you have to unmute yourself. Okay, we'll come back to you. You may
Okay.
be having technical difficulties. So our next person is Michael Hayden.
Michael Hayden, hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm Michael Hayden. I have updates on the Avenue 34 project. So testing a few weeks ago found that the contamination at the site is even higher than earlier testing suggested. The PCE vapors, which are the most dangerous, are 40,000 times higher than what is considered safe for vapor intrusion. The actual tested levels are 1.4 million times higher at 640,000 times than what is considered safe. Another toxin, TCE, was found to be 10 times higher than the last testing. And this new testing also found that areas of very high toxicity are right next to underground sewer lines, which is troubling because toxins can travel to other properties. What's most disturbing, though, is that the developers are saying their investigation is now finished, even though most of these findings deserve more investigation, like the underground sewers, and DTSC seems to be agreeing with the developer on this. They're not proposing any off-site testing, including at Hillside Elementary. The developer also submitted a cleanup plan, which is completely premature because they should have waited for the investigation to finish. Their proposal boils down to doing what they were already planning to do, build their project. And they're saying that by digging an underground parking lot on half the lot, that'll dispose of the contaminated soil. But this will leave much of the soil on the property that's still contaminated and unremediated. The best way to clean up a site like this is to extract the vapors, but they're not proposing to do that except for in one very small corner of the lot. They're also proposing a plastic sheet under their building that would stop the vapors from going into the building, but that could actually deflect the rising vapors and force them to rise up on neighboring properties and instead make it even more dangerous for the neighborhood than it already is. DTSC is going to have an official comment period on the cleanup plan sometime soon. I'll let people know when that is. I just wanted to share this update and make sure that people are aware of what's going on here.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Michael. All right.
Okay, the person with the number ending in 800, if you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, 323 *** 800. You're unmuted.
Okay, it's unmuted.
Hello? Caller?
Hello? I can see that it's unmuted, but for some reason I can't.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, hey, William, yeah.
Okay, yes, I was listening to the meeting while I was inside the rosary. So now I'm stepping out. That property has been contaminated for many, many years. I lived on that hill. There are caverns underneath that hill as well. So the pollution is there and it needs to be cleaned up. The city got sued before because of the landfill they were using in San Gabriel.
Board members cannot make public comment. This is for public comment only, for the public stakeholders.
All right.
Yeah, thank you, William, though. Thank you for that information.
Very welcome.
All right,
There's no more public comments, Sarah.
all right, so that was.
I have my hand up.
Well, this is a
public comment I'd like to make.
No, you're a board member, you cannot make a comment, I'm sorry.
This is a public comment to our community.
Richard, just like.
I can talk as an individual in the community. There's nothing that prevents me from doing that.
Richard, hold on. For the record, let's just call to order. Jose just verified right now. That's why William Morris was prevented from speaking. He said that board members cannot make comments under public. Jose, can you please reinforce that?
Yeah, so again, board members cannot make general public comment. That's for the public time itself. You're a legislative member from the board, so this is your board meeting. You cannot be switching roles.
I am speaking on behalf of Fire District 1. I'd like to give a report on Fire District 1 if nobody objects.
That's the time where you have to make it during your agenda item 7, community and board announcements.
Well, it's the same thing here. It says non-agenda public comments. This is a non-agenda public comment.
Yes, and that's for the public.
Do you mind if I continue with my comment?
We do mind, Richard. I think that right now what's happening is you're disrupting the operation of the meeting.
No, we're not before agenda adjournment. My comment is that fire station number 1 was.
Okay, so now we're gonna so there are no more public comments, correct? Attendees?
No, I have my hand up.
We're moving to item 10, attendance update. I do not have the attendance update. We will have it next week of a breakdown of all the attendance issues. And then we will move to now item 11, adjournment. I guess motion to adjourn. Do we have a motion?
I second.
Second. All right. So all in favor say aye. Oh wait.
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Adjourned.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, good night.